Good evening and God bless. Vision of the Sun. Governor Kate Brown signed a law to allow Oregon students to graduate without proving they can write or do math. She doesn't want to talk about it. Look at this overprivileged, inconsiderate. Let me just get to the article. For the next 5 years, an Oregon high school diploma will be no guarantee that the student who earned it can read, write, or do math at a high school level. Governor Kate Brown had demurred earlier this summer regarding whether she supported the plan passed by the legislature to drop the requirement that students demonstrate they have achieved those essential skills. But on July 14th, the governor signed Senate Bill 774 into law. I gotta check that number with a strong concordance. It must mean something. You wanna know what's going on? Read your Bible. Through a spokesperson, the governor declined again Friday to comment on the law and why she supported suspending the proficiency requirements. Wow. Brown's decision was not public until recently because her office did not hold a signing ceremony or issue a press release, or in the fact that the governor signed the bill was not entered into the legislative database until July 29th, a departure from the normal practice of updating the public database the same day a bill is signed. You see how they're taking advantage of the internet because it's got to do something with the public domain. They want to take advantage. No matter where they get their hands on, they're corrupting everything. That's the problem with these people. These people should not have the power to even sign something like this into law. But that's the devil for you, though. That's the devil that's behind that right there. To bring more chaos upon the world. The, the Oregon / Oregon Live asked the governor's office when Brown staff notified the legislature that she had signed the bill. Charles Boyle, the governor's deputy communications director, said the governor's staff notified legislative staff the same day the governor signed the bill. Yeah, well, somebody didn't do their job, obviously. They always say something just so that you can get on their back, and a lot of times they say stuff that doesn't make any sense, and then they still get away with it. Boyle said in an email statement that suspending the reading, writing, and math proficiency requirements while the state develops new graduation standards will benefit Oregon's Black, Latino, Latina, Latinx, Indigenous, Asian, Pacific Islander, tribal, and students of color. Wow, it's targeted at them too, exactly to destroy them. Doesn't make no sense. Why is that? How's that doing a favor? Nobody's gonna do good if they can't read. They can't even hold down a job if that's the case. How's that benefiting? That's an absolute insult. That's a shame. Leaders from those communities have advocated time and again for equitable graduation standards, along with expanding learning opportunities and supports. Boyles wrote. Lawmakers and the governor did not pass any major expansion of learning opportunities or supports for black, indigenous, and students of color during this year's legislative session. Wow. I don't even want to read any more of this. The requirement that students demonstrate freshman to sophomore level skills in reading, writing, and particularly and particularly math, led many high schools to create workshop style courses to help students strengthen their skills and create evidence of mastery. Most of those courses have been discontinued since the skill requirement was paused during the pandemic before lawmakers killed it entirely. Of course they did. How they got time to do that? Worrying about the wrong shit. Democrats in the legislature overwhelmingly supported ending the long-time proficiency requirement, while Republicans criticized as a lowering of Academic standards. A couple lawmakers crossed party lines on the votes. Proponents said the state needed to pause Oregon's high school graduation requirements in place since 2009, but already suspended during the pandemic until at least the class of 2024, in order the leadership to re-examine its graduation requirements. Recommendations for the standards are due to the legislature and Oregon Board of Education by September 2022. But why would they pause it? They still not answering why they're gonna pause it. They just don't want to help them out. They don't want to help these kids, especially the ones that are in school. Why wouldn't they want to educate them? Sad. However, the Oregon education officials have long insisted they would not impose new graduation requirements on the students who have already begun high school. New requirements will not take effect until the class of 2027 at the very earliest. That means at least 5 more classes could be expected to graduate without needing to demonstrate proficiency in math and reading. They're kidding me, right? Wow. Much of the criticism of the graduation requirements were targeted at standardized tests, yet Oregon, unlike many other states, did not require students to pass a particular standardized test or any test at all. Students could demonstrate their ability to use English and do math via about 5 different tests or by completing an in-depth classroom project judged by their own teachers. A variety of factors appear to have led to the lack of transparency around the governor's bill signing decisions this summer. Staff and to the Secretary of the State Senate's office are responsible for updating the legislative database. When the governor signed the Senate bill, Secretary of the Senate Lori Brocker said a key staffer who deals with the governor's office was experiencing medical issues during the 15-day period. Yeah, okay, y'all lying. Between when Brown signed Senate Bill 744 and the public database was updated to reflect that. They're freaking lying. I bet you they put this lady in the crosshairs of this whole investigation here, Lori Brocker. I bet you $1 million they probably talked her into just taking the rap for it. You know how that goes. Still, a handful of bills that the governor signed into law on July, and it was on the 19th. See, that's the cryptic, that's the esoteric meaning behind it. Look, the 19th, COVID-19. They would have signed these laws. They would have signed that on the 19th. It only goes to show you who's really running the show here, man. Satan is running the show. If y'all don't believe that, do y'all research, man. I can't explain all of this to you guys. I'm telling y'all what I know. But if y'all don't believe what I'm saying with that, y'all have no idea what's going on right now. You don't know the way the enemy communicates. Until you understand that, you know nothing. Jesus said, know your enemy, including a bill to create a training program for child care and preschool providers aimed at reducing suspensions and expulsions of very young children. were updated in the legislative database the same day she signed them, and email notifications were sent out immediately to people who signed up to track the bills. Yeah, sure. No notification ever went out regarding the governor's signing of the graduation bill. See, that was because at the same time legislative staff belatedly entered the information to the bill database on July 29th. The software vendor has shut down bill updates to member of the media and the public who have requested them. Wow. See, they were trying to prevent people from actually getting this information. Like, people that were seeking it out for good purposes. They cut it out because of a July 21st system malfunction, said Legislative Information Services System Architect Bill Sweetney. You guys are so full of it, man. Hillary Bonham, this is I guess the lady that wrote the article. I try to keep myself from saying vulgar language on my videos, especially when I want to get the truth out there. So I apologize for swearing a few minutes ago on the video. I did pretty good with these videos. I got 96 subscribers right now. Please like, share, subscribe, so we get the word out there to show how corrupt this government really is, and these people that are in power that shouldn't be in power anymore. I have two daughters that's growing right now, and would I want someone like this to do what they're doing? No, of course not. And I'm sure you wouldn't either if you had children. God have mercy on us all. Good evening, and God bless. Vision of the Sun.